Good evening, I'm Caitlin Culliton with your nightly news update. After Pope John Paul II is beatified, one of the 4 vials of blood taken from him in the last hours of his life will be used as the official relic for the veneration. The other 3 will remain dispersed between the Pope's private secretary and the nuns at the Vatican's hospital. A deal is in the works by Yemen's opposition that will grant the president immunity from prosecution if he agrees to step down and hand power over to his deputy. The youth movement that is very involved in the anti-government efforts has rejected this deal and still calls for the trial of the president. Japan's recent problems with nuclear reactors has spurred movement in India to introduce a bill that would create a nuclear regulatory authority. Recently, it was decided that safety review findings at India's nuclear power plants will also be made public. 7 of the 10 manuscripts discovered by archaeologists in Jordan that were stolen and smuggled into Israel have been recovered. These manuscripts may be among the earliest of Christian writings. Westminster Abbey is a hotbed of activity in preparation for the royal wedding. Construction of media structures to accommodate journalists, continual security inspections, and a military rehearsal are all part of the steps being taken to prepare for this huge event. Parents, teachers, and students are upset over this week's Math A Regents exam. They say the exam was tougher than usual and that it was too tough. Many students failed the exam, including many students who needed to pass the exam to graduate next week. Now, one Rochester school district is challenging the state on the exam. Kennedy reports from Fairport High School.
Hi, Katie. This is Kim, and I am at Fairport High School. 90% are usually who are expected to pass the Math A Regents, but only 30% have passed this time. The principal is petitioning the state to have the math test dropped and just have their average scores be.
Kim, is the Math A Regents the only test in question?
No, physics exams were also there, but they're concentrating on the math.
Is anything being done by the state currently to accommodate students that haven't passed the exam?
Not of as yet, but the board is having a meeting and the results will be soon known.
And that was Kimini reporting from Fairport High School. Thank you, Kim. It has been a year since Belgium's government submitted its resignation to King Albert II. Efforts to establish a new governing coalition will continue, but months could go by before any deal will be settled. No immediate solution is expected. A struggle is taking place between the Democratic Senate and the Republican House in regards to public broadcasting funding. The Republican-led House has voted to eliminate the funding, but this action has been stalled in the Senate. Levi Johnston, the father of Bristol Palin's son Trip, is set to publish a book in the fall telling all about his relationships with the family. It is entitled Deer in the Headlights, My Life in Sarah Palin's Crosshairs. Donald Trump, who is currently weighing a 2012 presidential bid, has reportedly not voted in any primary elections in the past 21 years. He, however, argues that he's voted in every general election, and his lawyer Michael Cohen vouches that his voting record is very, very good. And the DEC is giving a key piece of land in the Braddock's Bay area to the town of Greece. The wetlands will help preserve an open space and provide for recreation.
It means so much to the high quality of life here in New York State, making sure that our communities have and our kids have places to go and our wildlife has places to thrive.